3 defenders, 1 ball, 11 seconds. As the Hail Mary spiraled toward DeAndre Hopkins, the odds weren't just against him, they were astronomical. But then again, Hopkins has always thrived under impossible circumstances. Born into tragedy and raised through adversity, his journey to becoming one of the NFL's greatest wide receivers is a story of grit, determination, and a promise to overcome. How did he turn life's toughest challenges into touchdowns? Let's dive in. DeAndre Hopkins' story begins in the small town of Central South Carolina, where he was born on June 6, 1992. From the very start, life was anything but easy for the boy who would one day become known as Nuke. His nickname came from his mother, Sabrina Greenlee, who affectionately called him that because he loved chewing on Nuke brand pacifiers as a baby. But beyond the warm family moments, DeAndre's early years were marked by profound challenges. When DeAndre was just 5 months old, tragedy struck. His father, Steve Hopkins, was involved in a car accident that claimed his life. The sudden loss of his father left Sabrina to raise DeAndre and his 3 siblings alone. For Sabrina, it was not just about providing, it was about survival. She worked tirelessly to make ends meet, often juggling multiple jobs while also being a pillar of emotional strength for her children. The struggles of single parenthood would have been enough to test anyone, but Sabrina faced even more challenges. When DeAndre was 10 years old, their family endured an unimaginable ordeal. Sabrina was in an abusive relationship at the time, a situation that had already brought tension and danger into their lives. During a heated argument outside the apartment of another woman involved with her boyfriend, Sabrina was attacked. The other woman emerged with a mixture of lye and bleach and threw it in Sabrina's face. The chemical attack caused severe burns and left Sabrina permanently blind. The scars, both physical and emotional, were deep. Sabrina later said that her children became her guiding light through the darkness, and DeAndre's resolve to help his mother only grew stronger from that moment. For DeAndre, life was never the same after that day. He watched his mother, the woman who had always been his strength, adjust to an entirely new reality. Sabrina had always been his biggest supporter, attending his games and celebrating his achievements. But now, she would never see him play again. This loss cut deeply, but instead of breaking DeAndre, it fueled his determination. He resolved to make something of himself, not just for his own dreams, but to give his family the life they deserved. DeAndre's siblings also played a key role in shaping his resilience. Together, they rallied around Sabrina, becoming a tightly knit unit that supported one another through adversity. DeAndre often found comfort and motivation in their shared struggle, knowing that every step forward he took could inspire them as well. In high school, sports became DeAndre's refuge. He attended D.W. Daniel High School in Central, where he excelled as a multi-sport athlete. Whether it was basketball, track and field, or football, DeAndre's competitive spirit and natural athleticism shone through. On the football field, his talent was undeniable. He played both offense and defense, recording over 1,200 receiving yards, 18 offensive touchdowns, 28 interceptions, and 5 defensive touchdowns. But DeAndre's success wasn't just about raw talent, it was about effort and heart. His coaches often described him as a fierce competitor who treated every play like it could decide the game. For DeAndre, each catch and each tackle wasn't just about statistics. It was about proving to himself and the world that he was capable of rising above his circumstances. Basketball was another arena where DeAndre stood out. He scored over 1,400 points during his high school career, leading his team to a state championship in his senior year. His performances on the court were a testament to his relentless work ethic and versatility as an athlete. But even as he dominated in multiple sports, DeAndre's heart was always on the football field. Despite his achievements, DeAndre's journey to college was not without its challenges. Growing up in a household where every penny mattered meant there was little room for error. Yet, his talent and determination earned him a scholarship to Clemson University, a school close enough to home that he could remain a constant presence in his mother's life. The choice wasn't just about football, it was about staying close to the woman who had sacrificed so much for him. At Clemson, DeAndre quickly made his presence felt. As a freshman, He led the team in receiving yards and touchdowns, proving that he was more than ready for the college stage. His bond with Sabrina remained a cornerstone of his journey. Even though she could no longer see his games, Sabrina attended as many as she could, her presence on the sideline serving as a powerful reminder of why DeAndre worked so hard. The emotional weight of his mother's sacrifices drove DeAndre to push himself further. In interviews, he often spoke about how his family's struggles inspired him to succeed. He wanted to ensure that Sabrina would never have to worry about bills or groceries again. Every catch, every touchdown was a step closer to that goal. DeAndre's high school and college years weren't just about football. They were about shaping the person he would become. The resilience he built during these formative years became the foundation of a career that would eventually make him one of the most reliable and celebrated wide receivers in NFL history. From the beginning, DeAndre Hopkins' journey was fueled by love, pain, and an unyielding desire to overcome. His story reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, there is strength to be found in family, faith, and the pursuit of a dream. When DeAndre Hopkins stepped onto Clemson University's campus in the fall of 2010, he carried more than just his football gear. He carried the weight of his family's struggles and his dreams of a better future. Staying close to home was a deliberate choice, one that allowed him to remain a source of support for his mother, Sabrina, who continued to be a guiding light despite the darkness brought on by her blindness. For DeAndre, football was more than a game. It was a lifeline, a chance to lift his family out of hardship. DeAndre's freshman year at Clemson was nothing short of remarkable. Though many first-year players struggle to adjust to the demands of college football, Hopkins seemed born for the spotlight. He quickly earned a starting role and finished the season as the team's leading receiver, with over 630 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Tigers struggled that year, winning only 6 games and losing 7. But Hopkins' breakout performances gave fans and teammates a reason to believe the future could be brighter. Each catch on the field was more than a stat for DeAndre. It was a testament to his grit and determination. While other players saw football as a means to fame, DeAndre saw it as a promise to his mother that he would change their lives. Sabrina couldn't see him play anymore, but she still attended games, listening to the crowd's roars and picturing her son's every move on the field. In his sophomore season, Hopkins raised the bar yet again. The team improved to 10 wins and 4 losses, and so did DeAndre's game. He recorded over 970 yards and 5 touchdowns, proving that his freshman year was no fluke. His ability to make difficult catches, especially in critical moments, became his signature. Fans began calling him Nuke, the nickname given to him by his mother as a child, now synonymous with his explosive play style. Off the field, DeAndre's work ethic was unparalleled. His coaches often found him practicing long after others had left, perfecting his routes and catching passes well into the night. For him, football wasn't just about raw talent, it was about mastering every detail. He knew that success wasn't handed out. It had to be earned through sweat and sacrifice. The turning point in DeAndre's college career came during his junior year. In 2012, he set Clemson's single-season records for receiving yards and touchdowns, finishing with over 1,450 yards and 18 touchdowns. His dominance on the field was undeniable. Whether it was a perfectly executed deep route or a contested catch in double coverage, Hopkins made it look effortless. One unforgettable moment came during the Chick-fil-A Bowl against LSU. With the Tigers trailing late in the game, DeAndre made a series of clutch catches that set up the game-winning field goal. The victory wasn't just a triumph for Clemson. It was a testament to Hopkins' ability to shine when the stakes were highest. It was moments like these that turned him from a promising athlete into a bona fide star. After his record-breaking junior year, DeAndre faced a difficult decision: stay at Clemson for one more season or declare for the NFL draft. Ultimately, the choice was clear. The chance to provide for his family outweighed everything else. By January of 2013, he had officially declared for the draft, ready to take his game to the next level. Draft day was a mixture of excitement and anxiety. Despite his stellar college career, Hopkins wasn't the first receiver chosen. He waited patiently as 26 names were called before his. Finally, the Houston Texans selected him with the 27th overall pick. It was a moment of validation, a reminder that his hard work had paid off. But for DeAndre, the draft wasn't the end of his journey, it was just the beginning. In his rookie season, DeAndre made an immediate impact, recording over 800 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. One highlight came in just his second game, where he made a game-winning catch in overtime, showcasing his ability to deliver in critical moments. Yet his journey in the NFL was far from smooth. The Texans struggled with inconsistent quarterback play, forcing Hopkins to adapt and prove his worth in less than ideal circumstances. DeAndre's rise wasn't just about stats or accolades, it was about heart. Every catch, every touchdown was a step closer to fulfilling the promise he made to his mother. His relentless pursuit of excellence, fueled by the pain and love of his past, became the foundation of a career that would inspire countless others. DeAndre Hopkins didn't just rise to prominence in the NFL, he dominated it, becoming one of the league's most reliable and awe-inspiring wide receivers. Despite the instability of playing with a revolving door of quarterbacks during his early years with the Houston Texans, Hopkins consistently performed at an elite level. Each season, he silenced critics who doubted his ability to thrive in such challenging circumstances. For DeAndre, success wasn't about excuses, it was about results. By his third season in 2015, DeAndre had cemented himself as one of the NFL's elite. With 111 receptions, over 1,520 yards, and 11 touchdowns, he delivered one of the best performances in the league that year. What made this feat even more remarkable was the cast of quarterbacks throwing him the ball, players like Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, and Brandon Weeden, none of whom were considered top-tier talents. Yet, Hopkins made their throws look like they came from Pro Bowlers, showcasing his unparalleled ability to adjust and elevate those around him. One defining characteristic of Hopkins' dominance was his ability to make the impossible look routine. His acrobatic catches and knack for high-pointing the ball became legendary. It wasn't just about physical talent. DeAndre's body control, spatial awareness, and concentration set him apart. Each Sunday, fans and analysts marveled at how he managed to pull off highlight reel plays that left defenders shaking their heads in disbelief. Hopkins' resilience shone brightest during the Texans' struggles. In 2017, he led the league with 13 receiving touchdowns, despite the team cycling through multiple quarterbacks yet again. It was also the start of a remarkable stretch where DeAndre posted over 1,000 receiving yards for 4 consecutive seasons. Each year, he pushed the boundaries of what a wide receiver could achieve under difficult circumstances. One of his most iconic performances came during the 2020 season when Hopkins, now with the Arizona Cardinals, pulled off a catch that instantly became part of NFL lore. With only seconds left in a game against the Buffalo Bills, quarterback Kyler Murray launched a desperation Hail Mary pass into the end zone. 3 Bills defenders surrounded Hopkins, each in a better position to make the play, but DeAndre leapt above them, securing the ball in his hands as if by sheer will. "It was just a better catch by me," Hopkins said afterward, his calm demeanor underscoring the extraordinary nature of the play. Hopkins wasn't just known for his big plays. His consistency was unmatched. From 2017 to 2020, he averaged over 100 receptions and nearly 1,400 yards per season. During this period, he earned 4 consecutive Pro Bowl selections and was named first-team All-Pro 3 times. His excellence demanded attention, and many analysts began to consider him one of the greatest wide receivers of his generation. What truly set Hopkins apart, however, was his mental toughness. No matter the opponent or the odds, DeAndre approached every game with the same unshakable focus. His preparation was meticulous, and his ability to remain calm under pressure was a testament to his upbringing and the lessons he learned from his mother's resilience. To him, every catch represented not just a point on the scoreboard, but a continuation of the promise he made to Sabrina years ago. Even as his personal accolades piled up, Hopkins never lost sight of his team. He often shared the credit for his success, praising his coaches and teammates for their roles in his journey. He understood that football was a team sport, and his humility only deepened the respect he commanded from peers and fans alike. Despite his on-field dominance, DeAndre also used his platform to give back. He became an advocate for various charitable causes, including organizations that supported survivors of domestic violence, a cause close to his heart due to his mother's experience. For Hopkins, greatness extended beyond the field. It was about using his success to make a meaningful impact on the world. By the end of the 2020 season, Hopkins' reputation as a game-changer was undeniable. His combination of talent, work ethic, and determination had redefined what it meant to be a wide receiver in the modern NFL. Whether making jaw-dropping catches or inspiring others with his story, DeAndre Hopkins had proven that greatness wasn't just something he achieved, it was something he embodied every single day. For all of DeAndre Hopkins' incredible achievements, his journey hasn't been without new obstacles. By the time the 2021 season rolled around, Hopkins was already a household name, a player known for consistency, durability, and highlight reel catches. But in the NFL, even the strongest are not immune to the wear and tear of the game. That season, Hopkins faced his first significant physical setback in years. A hamstring injury early in the season limited his explosiveness and forced him to miss multiple games. Later, a torn MCL ended his campaign prematurely, leaving him with just under 600 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, the lowest totals of his career. For Hopkins, being sidelined wasn't just a physical challenge, it was a mental one. The player who prided himself on being available for his team suddenly had to watch from the sidelines, unable to contribute. The Cardinals, a team with playoff aspirations, missed Hopkins' presence dearly. He later admitted how difficult it was to grapple with the frustration of not being able to perform at the level he had grown accustomed to. Still, even in the face of injury, Hopkins remained a steadfast leader for his teammates, offering support and guidance as he worked toward recovery. As if the physical challenges weren't enough, Hopkins encountered another setback heading into the 2022 season. News broke that he had been suspended for 6 games after testing positive for a performance-enhancing substance. The suspension shocked fans and analysts alike, as Hopkins had long been regarded as one of the league's most disciplined and principled athletes. DeAndre maintained his innocence, suggesting the result was likely caused by a trace amount of a banned substance in a supplement he had unknowingly consumed. Regardless of the circumstances, the suspension was a blemish on an otherwise spotless career. For many players, these challenges could have marked the beginning of the end, but for DeAndre Hopkins, they were simply another chapter in a life defined by resilience. While critics questioned whether he could return to his dominant form, those who knew Hopkins understood that adversity was nothing new for him. Whether battling through injuries, unfair perceptions, or personal tragedy, he had always found a way to rise above. The setbacks of 2021 and 2022 were no different. They were just another opportunity for him to prove his strength. Before we dive into the final chapter of DeAndre Hopkins' incredible journey, don't forget to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Stories like this remind us of the power of perseverance, and there's so much more to come, so stick around. DeAndre Hopkins' story is one of resilience, triumph, and unshakable determination. It is the story of a young boy from Central South Carolina who faced more adversity before his teenage years than many will experience in a lifetime. But instead of allowing life's challenges to defeat him, Hopkins turned his pain into power. Every game he played, every catch he made, was a tribute to the sacrifices his mother endured and the promise he made to himself to create a better life for his family. Throughout his career, DeAndre Hopkins has been more than just an exceptional wide receiver. He has been a symbol of hope for anyone facing insurmountable odds. From his humble beginnings to the bright lights of the NFL, Hopkins' journey is a testament to the fact that greatness is not simply about talent, it is about heart, resilience, and an unwavering belief in oneself. For Hopkins, the field has always been more than a place to showcase his skills. It is a stage to inspire. Whether it's delivering unforgettable moments like the Hail Mary or standing tall in the face of injuries and setbacks, Hopkins' career embodies the values of hard work and perseverance. Off the field, his advocacy for survivors of domestic violence and his charitable work show that his greatness extends far beyond the gridiron. As fans, we often measure a player's legacy by numbers and accolades, but DeAndre Hopkins' story is a reminder that legacy is also built on impact. It's in the lives he's touched, the fans he's inspired, and the example he set for the next generation of athletes. His journey reminds us that no obstacle is too great when the will to succeed is stronger than the forces trying to hold us back. So as we reflect on DeAndre Hopkins' remarkable career, we are left with a question: what defines greatness? Is it the records and the awards? Or is it the ability to rise above, to turn pain into purpose, and to inspire others to do the same? What do you think? Does DeAndre Hopkins' legacy resonate with you as much as it does with us? Share your thoughts below, and let's celebrate the story of a player who turned every challenge into a step toward greatness.